or your respective sales director, and we're happy to help you as well. The advisor preferences, this one here, if you're taking notes today, please go to the advisor preferences on the left-hand side and do select the Prosperity UL if that's the default product of your choice. And I know for WFG, it usually is, because again, it's exclusive to WFG. And if your client's looking for Everest, we definitely need the Prosperity UL. So I often say default the Prosperity Universal Life, because I have had people, some agents write the business, they go all the way through and they realize the client doesn't have Everest. It's because they didn't select the Prosperity, right? So default that product. Also for the default print settings, please show every year until 100 so that you're able to actually show the client every year in the illustration. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to create an illustration together today. It's going to be the UL solution. We talked about the importance of having flexibility for our clients today, and the layered solution that we do offer. So we're going to go ahead and create that together. One thing I actually want to kind of review before we get there is under illustration, you'll see create illustration and product comparison. And I have gotten calls where people are like, I'm in here, but it's only offering me like 50,000 maximum. And that's because they went through the create application. So for the create application, little hint there is that for Everest, there is no illustration, right? There's a rate card, but there's no illustration. So that's kind of your little hint that if you're just looking for a standalone, which is the simplified issue or guaranteed issue with the Everest product, that's the only time you would use the create application. But otherwise, for everything else, we're going to go through the illustration because everything else does create an illustration, right? So therefore, that's how you know that you need to go through the illustration. All right, so let's go ahead and create that illustration. We're going to go ahead and select create new client. We're going to make sure that we've input first name, last name, age, and sex at birth. Date of birth is optional at this point in time. I always suggest that you put it in if you know it, but if you're trying to prepare before you go to see a client, you only know their age, but you don't know their date of birth, then you would, at this point, proceed without entering the date of birth, and the system will actually prompt you to add the date of birth before you proceed to the application. All right, so we're going to add the first name, the last name, the age of the client, sex at birth, and we're going to go ahead and hit next. All right, we're going to go ahead and select the owner's residence, beautiful Alberta, and you'll see here that the default product is Prosperity UL, and that's because we've already defaulted it, okay? So that's great, and I don't want you guys to change anything else at this point in time. If you would have selected, let's say you've went in and you've saved some templates, because that's one of the new features that you can do with us, is that you can actually save a template, because maybe it's a solution that you'd like to offer moving forward. So you'll see here that I have some options that I've saved. I have a layering solution, an optimizer solution, student plan, CI for life. So you can actually go in and do that, and I'll show you how to do that today. But for now, we're not going to select an option. We're just going to simply go next. And it's going to take us right into our wonderful policy details page. Okay, so here, very simple, it's a simple process. Everything has come forward from the previous screen. All that I'm going to ask is that you look at the case name and name it. So in this case, we're going to just go for 100,000 KUL, okay, straight UL with no layering solution, and you'll find out why that is momentarily. We're going to scroll down. We don't want to change anything else in the illustration options. We're simply going to specify the face amount. In this case, it's 100,000. Okay. We're going to go ahead with the level death benefit option, ART annual renewable term. I get a lot of questions about what does this 290/15 coverage years mean? Okay. That means that on our annual renewable term cost of insurance, that cost of insurance is going at age 90. Okay. It's not going to age 100. It's going to age 90. Or 15 coverage years. 15 coverage years is in the event that you're setting up the plan for the client at age 76, as an example, the cost of insurance would end at age 91, 15 years later, right? So it's to age 90 or 15 coverage years, whichever one is later. So that's what that one means. Our level cost of insurance does go to age 100 though. All right, so we're going to go with premium option. We're going to change this over to quick pay. Quick pay is so that this is funded properly. And so, you know, we get a lot of questions about that as well. So when you go to the quick pay, it is going to be above that annual minimum premium requirement. And that's so that this is funded properly for the life of the plan, right? So we want to select the quick pay premium option. We want to input the amount of years. In this case, the client wants to pay for 20 years. It will automatically adjust the to age. We want to go ahead and select the payment mode. In this case, it's a monthly pad. And that is all we need to do up until this point. So that was very simple, very easy. Again, everything came over from the previous screen. All we did was we adjusted the case name in this case. Okay, we're going to jump over to interest options. Remember, I talked about the rates of returns and the My Investment Profile. Okay, so the My Investment Profile is the one that you can go through. It's going to take you through about 10 questions. It's going to recommend certain investments based on the client's KYC or their, you know, risk tolerance, risk capacity. So I would definitely highly recommend that you do go, maybe write it down today if you're taking some notes, and go check it out for yourself. Go through those questions so you know exactly what that's all about. But I did promise I would show you those 0% interest options. So let me quickly show you those. All right. So you want to select the product type, which in this case is prosperity. Current version is 5.6. We're going to simply select go. Just going to make sure here. You guys can still see my screen. Perfect. All right. So you're going to scroll down and you're going to check out the managed index interest options. Okay. So for those of you wondering, these are the list of investments that are offering the 0% interest option fees. Okay. So for example, the TD dividend growth. It's great because it gives the client, you know, all the information that they may be looking for, including, you know, where these investments are, you know, investing in, what the top 10 holdings are, what the historical performance is. So you can go through all that great stuff with them. And then you can show them that it's a 0% interest option fee. So that list of investments that I just went through, that list of lineup are the 0% interest option fees that we were talking about earlier. Okay. And if we were to do a comparison side by side with what's out there in the market, we definitely are, you know, our MERs are lower, and we, with the 0% interest option fees, it's contractual. So it's right in our contract. We can't change that. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's select an investment here. So we have the TD dividend growth that we just were looking at. We'll just select that one. We're just going to allocate 100%. You can allocate and divide this up the way that you would like. So for example, if you wanted to do 50-50, you could. You would just simply add an additional row there and allocate and select the next option amount. But we're, you know, for this illustration, we're just going to go 100% TD. We're going to go 100% there. We're going to change this rate of return to 4%. And we're going to go back to policy details. We've already set it up. So we have the quick pay here option. All we need to do is execute solve. This is going to calculate for us a minimum premium required to fund this properly. Again, this is going to be overfunded through the quick pay. You'll see here that it's come up with $108.29. I like, you know, even numbers. I'm going to go with 110. So you can adjust that. You're going to go to the interest options, adjust this over to 6%. Okay, go back to the policy details, and we're done now. So we have completed our first scenario for the client. In this stage, you can go ahead and preview the illustration, but we've added a new feature where you can actually copy the illustration. So you're now able to copy each illustration, adjust it to the additional option that you want to show the client. In this case, we're talking about a layered solution. So it's copied everything over. It's very quick, very efficient. I'm going to go ahead and quickly change the premium option to quick pay again, because I know I need to resolve based on the additional coverage I want to provide to the client. I'm going to hop over to the riders and optional benefits, because again, I want to offer a more layered solution. The client has medium and shorter term needs. Maybe they have young children, they have a mortgage, they have some lines of credit, they have maybe a credit card, whatever the case may be. So we're going to add a term 250,000 and we're going to make sure that this aligns, the years aligns with the term that I've selected. In this case, it's 20 years. The client is also looking, they like the idea of critical illness protection. We're going to add it to age 65. Okay, 25,000 is the minimum amount required. But in this case, we're going to go with 50,000, and we don't have to adjust the years here because they calculate on the to age 65. Okay, very simple, very easy. In the event that you submit an application, it's rated for the CI. We come back and we ask you to create a new illustration. This edit button is where you would go in and edit the rating. Okay, so this is where you would actually go back to edit and add the rating on the CI if it came forward with a rating. So you're going to hop back to the interest options. You're going to now select again 4% or input the 4%. Go back to the policy details and again execute solve at this point. It's going to come up with, yes.
Sorry, I'll interrupt you while that's solving. So we have some really great questions in the chat box and I've been answering them.
Sure.
Lillian would like a little explanation on the banding, if you have a moment to do that. Why you added that dollar?
Sure. So with our banding, we have different banding levels. So we have the 100,000, we have the 250,000 and $1, and we have the 500,000 and $1. So when we add those dollars to those amounts, it takes us into the next banding level and provides a discount to the client. So the way that you could look at it is, you know, for example, when you go into Costco, right? You buy more for less, and it's the same idea. So, you know, do remember to add the $1 to the 250,000 and $1 and the 500,000 and $1. Okay, perfect. Great question. So we executed and solved with the layering solution. So we're now up to $175. We are running out of time, so I'm not going to show one additional option. I want to give some time to Christine there. But what I am going to show you is that you can actually go now action and compare illustration. That's one of our new features that we've added as well. And here you'll be able to see that you can actually select the illustrations that you've created. So I have the two illustrations here that I created. You can actually create as many options for your client as you would like with our new Ivari 360, but you can compare up to 3 at one time. Okay, so here you'll be able to see side by side, and I didn't adjust the 4%. This should be actually a 6%, but we'll pretend that it is for time purposes. But you can see side by side a nice example for the client, you know, to show them exactly what it looks like and what the difference would look like for them in the future with regards to, you know, their fund value. So do check that out. Check out the compare feature. Check out the copy feature. You know, create different scenarios for your client. Preview illustration is going to be there, so you're going to be able to go ahead and preview it. This one here is giving me this message because we didn't go ahead and adjust and input the 6%. Okay, but I wanted to show you that this is our new illustration. It's quite similar. You are able to add a cover page, which you can design the report right here on the left-hand side. You're going to be able to design that report, add the cover page if you like, which looks really nice. And, you know, go ahead and play around with it. We have a feature where it's going to show the client the layering savings options. So we have tons and tons of new features in there, but this is what the cover page looks like. So I do recommend that you add it. It's nice. It'll have your name in there. It looks colorful. It looks professional. So again, lots and lots of great new features. Christine, maybe I'll quickly pass it on to you because we are running to the end here.
Great job, Rena. So I think you guys can see there's a lot of great new functionalities to help you out while you're in the field. And, you know, I just want to say, don't feel like you have to remember everything that we go through today. We're here to support you. We've got a sales team all throughout Canada. You have your sales directors, and then myself, I'm an associate sales director. And you'll find the associate sales directors, we're usually in our office. So, you know, if you want to hop on Zoom, you have a plan to build, or you just want to go through some of these, you know, great functionalities like the compare, definitely reach out to us. We're here to help you out. I'll show you our team card in a second, but I'm going to take a moment to hop into the 360 as well. And a lot of those links that I was posting in the chat box, you guys, if you didn't get a chance to copy them, just head into our website, right? So if you go to ivari.ca and then you log in as an advisor, there's a lot of great resources here for you, and not only for yourselves, but for your clients. You know, don't hesitate to send your clients to our website if they want to learn more about the companies you work with, right? But most of those things I was putting in the chat box, I went to the product section here, and then you can see all the information on Maple and Everest and all the products that Rena was talking about today. But I'm just going to go into my 360 here. I've got it open. Oops, going to log back in actually. So something to point out as well is, you know, I've got the Ivari 360 actually saved in my favorites or bookmarked. That way I don't have to go into ivari.ca every single time I want to go into my 360. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the illustrations tab because this is where all the illustrations are that I've created, right? So they automatically save. So anything I've created is here. If I want to go back and open one up, if I want to edit it, in this case, you know, my client's ready to go ahead with an application. So I'm going to highlight the one I want to open. We're just going to click edit. And what's really cool is now I can seamlessly go from my illustration to application all under one platform here in the 360. So previously you'd have to send your illustration from live view. So no more of that. So this action tab that Rena was showing you, you're going to be coming here a lot. You just click on there and now we're going to go application. Okay. Or if you choose, you can preview the illustration, make any changes that you want, but we're going to show you how to get into that application. So nothing's changed with our application. All the questions are the same. You're still going in the same way, but something that is really great is now you have the ability to make any changes to your client information or your illustration anytime before the signing. Okay, so before you'd have to go back to live view, make your changes, send it over, start over. So none of that. It's a lot more simple now. So I'll just quickly show you. You go through your notice of disclosures, and then we need to give our consent for Everest. So this just gives us permission to share some information with Everest so that it can get their Everest policy. And then we continue. And this is what I want to show you. So for example, let's say, you know, you get to this point, you're in the application and your client says, oh, Rena, you spelt my last name wrong, right? So previously we'd have to go back to live view, but now we can very simply make a change to the client info. So I'm in my application tab here, but I'm going to head back to my client tab over here on the left.
What's up, Rach?
And easy peasy. I'm just going to change the last name. And we're going to head back to the application to continue on. So this was something that I was very excited about. You know, if you're going through the plan before you go forward in the application and your client says, you know what, let's add some coverage here. Let's, you know, increase that CI rider, for example, then very easily to go back and edit your illustration as well. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to bring up our team card now. You know, as I was saying, we're all here to help you guys out. So don't hesitate to jot down our information. These are actually all our cell phone numbers on here. So I always say if it's after midnight, text Notion. But no, we are here to support you. If it's more convenient for you guys to shoot us a text, we're happy to receive your texts or your calls. Or you can also send us an email if that's easier for you as well. So this is our Western Canada sales team here. So I'll just leave that up for a moment so you can take a picture of the screen. And then this is our Eastern Canada sales team here. So I'll just throw it back to you, Rena, if you have anything else to add.
No, that was great. Thanks so much, Christine. We are excited that we were able to show you how to take it right into application. We hope that you see all the great features. We look forward again, like I mentioned, to a great 2024 with you all. We know it's going to be a great, even better year than 2023. And it's a holiday season, so we hope that you take some time to spend it with your family and friends. And we will definitely see you guys in 2024. Thanks again for all the support, Dynasty. Take care.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Round of applause for Rena and Christine going through all that great info. I love all the updates that Ivari did with their online app and their illustration, how you can easily, just kind of go back and forth with that and edit it and do the comparisons. It's a pretty slick process now, but it does take a little bit of time to learn it. I don't recommend the first time that you're doing an application that you do all that new application in front of a client. Take some time to learn this stuff behind the scenes, and it'll be smooth. You'll look professional. And yeah, if you have a client who all of a sudden they're like, hey, instead of 25,000, if I want 50,000, then you know exactly how to do those updates and everything. So with that, in closing, I just have a couple of comments. First off, looks like my video's not freezing, so I want to show you guys what you can build your WFG business to be like. So check this out. I'm in Mexico right now, snowbirding it in my 30s. It's pretty cool. I have lots of people to like, what do you mean you live down in Mexico for the winter time? And it just goes to show that this business is pretty cool, that you can build it literally anywhere that you want. You can help out clients now anywhere that you want. You can build your team all across North America, Canada, US, and you can literally live the dream. So, I would challenge everyone that heading into 2024, that you take some time to be able to sort of, dream again and stretch your vision on what's possible. Because when I started this business about 8 years ago, I mean, I was just trying to get out of the oil field. I'm from Alberta originally and did the whole oil field thing, was making 6 figures there, and just realized that, in the future, I did not want that lifestyle of being away and, working in camps and all that kind of stuff. And I started part-time. I was part-time here for a year, and it's just crazy to look back and see how things change. And a lot of it comes down to showing up on Dynasty Lives whenever you can, right? Really, really being a student of the business. Once you're licensed, one of the key things is to take the time to get good at learning all this stuff, learning all the products, how everything works, and then it's just crazy where your life can go, the impact that you make, and the business that you can build, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to, by the way, go make $500,000 to have a pretty incredible lifestyle doing this, right? You can go out and you can replace your income, right? Maybe you're making 60 grand, 80 grand a year at your day job right now, or you have some teammates that are there. Well, imagine making the exact same income that you make at your other job, but you're doing it full time as your own boss, choosing your own hours, getting to take your kids to school, and kind of pick and choose when you work, and go to the beach in between appointments and do whatever it is that you want. But that's step one. So I challenge you in 2024 to go out and get really, really good at this, right? Stop kind of toying around with it and really, really dive in all into this business, because your life can change in such a huge, huge way. And one note that I do want to make on this topic of universal life policies and of understanding the products and being a broker is one thing that was mentioned to me early in the business from a fellow that most of you have probably heard of. His name is Riel Michaud. He drove hard into my head early in the business that the business that pays is the business that stays. So you want to make sure that when you're helping out your clients, that you're getting them the right product, and you're not overselling them, getting them universal life when they should probably be getting term and all that kind of stuff. Because if you weren't aware, there are chargebacks if you are overselling people. And I've seen a crazy, crazy push here in the last probably year or two, all over social media and all over, a bunch of different platforms about this whole infinite banking strategy. And is it a strategy for some people? Yes. But is it a strategy for most people? Probably not, if they don't have money in their TFSA and flexibility in their lives with their plans and all that kind of stuff. So I would encourage you to really take some time to learn about this stuff and learn who, these strategies are best suited for, and to really become a professional. Because again, the business that pays is the business that stays, and you are creating a reputation as a financial professional where you can get referrals, and you're building this reputation of being a financial person that people can trust, they can lean on. They're going to be sending you referrals for the rest of your life, rest of your career. So hopefully you're planning to do this for 30 years. So if it takes you a year, 2, 3 years to get really, really good at this, well-rounded, to learn all the products, then I promise you it's worth it. Because again, you can just build an unbelievable lifestyle here that you couldn't have even imagined. So with that, we do have a millionaire mentorship call winner. So to earn that, and by the way, if you have teammates that are kind of newer and during the holiday season, there's going to be some Dynasty Lives going on. Hopefully you encourage your teammates to pop on whenever they can if they have days off work. And if they have their camera on the whole time throughout Dynasty Live, they get their name entered into a draw to earn some mentorship and coaching from one of the millionaires that we have, part of Greg's team across Dynasty. And today the winner is with Paxton Fritch. We have France Tellier. I'm not sure if I said your last name properly, but congrats. I know that France, I believe she's on Lena's team and really been tearing up the leaderboards recently. So awesome to see and great job. Keep it up. And just in closing, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody, Happy New Year. And, it's time to make a decision and make 2024 the year that you look back on in your career where you doubled, tripled your income, doubled the size of your team, really, really took this to the next level because it is so, so worth it to invest that time and energy. So hope you guys have a great holiday season, right? If you want different results in 2024, you have to do different things. So what's 1 or 2 daily habits that you can implement coming into the new year that will change your business, that will change your life, your habits, and get you some different results? That's for you to decide and you to reflect back on. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and Merry Christmas.